Hey everybody, this is Dan from Valar Morghulis. All men must die. Today we'll be doing another war recap. This will actually be our War 133rd. Our War 132nd, we fought against a Asian clan that had 20 Town Hall 10s. They were all rushed. We ended up beating them. It's kind of interesting because we only had 3 Town Hall 10s and they had 20. And again, the war matchmaking system put us up against somebody who was not just a pushover, but actually quite formidable. We let it run for over an hour. We ended up against Emphatic Fury, which is the feeder clan to Emphatic Elite, also known as Clashing with Maddie. He kind of runs the YouTube for that. Props to him. We ended up losing this. So this was our first red mark in our war log in a very long time. We had 7 Town Hall 8s, and we had a Town Hall 3 just at the bottom as an anchor because we only had 34 members who wanted to play, and we were like, hey, let's run a 35-man war, and we just let it run. They only had 3 Town Hall 8s, and one of them was weighted as a Town Hall 8, but he was really a Town Hall 10. They had like Lavaloon, like level 2 hounds and everything. They also had like most of their bases that we're going to see here. We're putting 3 stars on them with like level 15 and level 12 heroes, and they all got like level 15 at a minimum, both heroes. Most of them have like 25 heroes, and they're in like this is a 35-man war, so they're like mid 20s. They're rolling like 20 and 25 heroes, and we have to attack down, and they're able to attack up. So it was already kind of a bad situation. If this was more like an arranged war, we could have equalized the size a little bit better. But for what it was, we actually performed pretty well. Able to put up a 90% total destruction. The stars, it ain't there, but as we go through these, I'm gonna pretty much tell you, we have some stars here. Okay, there you go. There's a 2-star. 98%. So it's like we beat the base, but we just needed like 15 more seconds. A little bit. The base was beat. These were also really good bases. These are some of the hardest bases I've ever seen, and I spent a morning just looking at bases, and to the point where I got a headache. It was this difficult. I didn't even know how to attack them. I had to stare at them until I found how to decode it. But people like Rage right here, our 3-star attacker. Some of these people are just naturals. I actually had a 6-star war, 2 first attacks. Someone had a 6-star war. Who else am I missing? I know we had Knife Ninjasti had a 6-star war. And who else? Jeffrey beats his 6-star war. One of them first attack. Same thing with someone. And I think Knife had one as well. We had a lot of first attack 3-stars, man. Some really, really power hits. We didn't start off well. We were on our heels the whole way. Let's check out some of these. We're gonna go through all of them. So I'm gonna kind of break down what's happening here. We're bringing 4 lightnings and a quake. So you know what's going on here, man. We're gonna take out one of those Inferno towers, but she's gonna try to weaken the queen. And I like how this kind of goes because see, there goes the quake, and then as the queen is gonna path over to the Inferno tower, she's going to take a lot of damage. So that level 30 queen is going to be like near dead. And then when we park lava hounds in front of that air defense there, you can see the king's going in from the right. His responsibility is to cut that. So we're going to kind of like sandwich his base, cut it from both sides and air defenses, and then we're just going to roll it. Now that was a single target Inferno tower that we nuked, so our lava hounds are going to be quite effective on rolling through this base. She sends in 3 here from the bottom, just so that they can roll on in, pick up all the mines, and when that air defense goes down, actually when the lava hounds break, they eat the queen, and then all those loons are gonna roll. They're gonna take that level 4 haste, and they're gonna roll right across there because when you broke that Inferno tower, you broke the pathing, so they roll right across those Teslas and on up. Back in loons to the backside, the lava hounds picked up most of the Inferno tower beams. So our lavas are actually our loons in the middle are pretty well protected. This base is pretty much done because we got haste rolling into the air sweeper there, and we're going to be able to occupy that wizard tower so it doesn't hit our loon clusters. Throws down minions for cleanup, And like usual, Rachel's queen's still alive for cleanup. This is going to be 3 stars. And boom. Alright, here we go. Jeffrey Beatsy queen walked both of these. So we're going to see some nice queen walk in action here. I think this one works out pretty well. I think the next one's pretty interesting. So he puts his queen down. He's going to cut all this trash along the bottom. It's really hard to funnel when you have all this garbage. Actually, I found a lot of these bases to be really anti-queen walk. I kept looking at, oh, can I queen walk this? Oh, can I queen walk this? We were able to go queen walk a few, but man, sometimes they have like random gaps, and the queen just tears off in another direction. It's really hard, these bases, man. So queen's pushing left. This is why I'm saying these bases are hard to queen walk. Look, man, the air defense is not even picked up by the queen, but it starts sniping healers. So we're already down to 2 healers. I think we keep 2 on in. So there you go. We only need 1 golem here because we queen walked most of the defenses that'll do damage on golems, and we just roll on in, man. So he has the 1 jump. He's gonna jump here, picks up a lava hound out of the CC. I think this was our first attack. And this lava hound actually screws us over here because we're trying to loon this base, but our lava hound here with 5,000 some change hit points really ties up this level 20 queen. And then of course you're gonna have pups that explode out all over the place. So he throws down the poison to kind of like bring them in, and as they cruise toward our archer queen, they're gonna kind of cook a little bit. So it just kind of helps out. We respect the dragon. She gets the air defense down that she needs to, and our job there is done. So we go up to the top. We only have 2 haste, 2 rage, and we're gonna roll right in here. And he's just gonna rotate this base on a clockwise direction, just kind of swing it around. Now I found these bases really hard to loon because, as you see here, because of sweepers and because of the air defenses, the freaking overlap, what happens is, you'll get like two of these maxed out air defenses shooting into lava hounds at any given time. It's really annoying. Now the one here on the south end cuts them a break, but then the loons have to path all the way on over there, and I think they do. Yeah, they do. And then they got to go all the way back over to the archer tower, but the base is done in 40 seconds. And this was just a really nice hit. Boom. Bringing the queen walk answer. I like it. Sometimes you can queen walk certain bases. As long as she's not getting tied up too much on defenses, and as long as or buildings, as long as it's not for every base, but it is for most. So he puts his queen down here, and this one here is kind of an impromptu attack. He's able to pull off the 3 stars on it. We have a really bunkered hero compartment. I mean, storage is all over the place. You pretty much need a jump to get in there. I think there's Teslas that pop around it. It's just really nasty, so it's kind of hard to get in there. So he's going to cut one part of the funnel because there's just like really thick trash all over the place, and a Tesla pops, and then another Tesla pops. He's trying to get his cut happening, and that Tesla pop is actually going to pull the queen northbound on this base, and it really screws everything up because she was supposed to move southbound and hook up with her king and our golem and all that so we can get in on that queen. But we don't have that, so she's just going to go north. I think she actually ends up getting one of the air defenses down. So cool, we got that going for us. But down here on the south, I don't know, man. If she gets tied up in that town hall, the queen's actually losing health in general. But our heroes are going in. We got the wizards. They're throwing damage into this level 29 archer queen. She's like a boss mob. But our golem gets in and goes pow, breaks right on top of her, takes her out, man. I think they do right around 500 to 600 damage. I don't remember the exact number off the top of my head, but somewhere around that number if they can pop. So it's like a super giant bomb right on the queen's face. Boom. And there we go. We got overlapping air defenses. They just nuke the lava hound that was there. But our haste is going in. Our queen's able to actually help us out. She did shear off that one air defense. So we're just pretty much flying, we're just pretty much making this stuff up at this point because we have he would get that sweeper down, but our loons on the left are just going to get chewed up. And then we have a situation where we have a wizard tower and a loon cluster, and this never turns out well, but it does for this situation. There's just so many loons there, and it caused them to pop. I guess there was a lava hound in that mix still alive. That one wizard tower hit caused that pop, and all these loons were max health because of his deployment. They were all protected. So this base is done inside of 20 seconds. Thanks, wizard tower. Normally that can end your Lavaloon raid if it's on the backside. Well, I could be wrong. Jeff could be looking at this and he could be saying, I meant for her to go northbound the whole time. Maybe he did. It really worked out for him. I think he meant southbound. I gotta kind of analyze these things, man. And then there's like a sea of 2-stars here. A lot of 2-star hits. I'm telling you, some of these are, 80s. We're gonna see 95s. This war could have been really tight. And it just didn't turn out for us that way. Here's another good base. Here's someone. He's like a Lavaloon specialist. I found these kind of bases, these type of layouts, these designs, almost impossible to Lavaloon, queen walk. The air defenses are just in far enough where you can't queen walk them off, and the crescent moon shape of air defense with a queen like in the pocket is just ridiculous, because then you need to transition almost all the way across the base on the back end. It's really hard to do. Those down his poison, eat up these CC troops, and he's just moving on in. I found it really hard to make your golems survive the route, but as you see here, we're using pretty much all of our spells on the kill squad. So the kill squad's moving in. The quake, because we're going to be in this area for so long, and it opens up the area so nicely that his level 20 BK was actually able to get in there. He couldn't count on that queen jumping that wall, so he needed to break in there. And he actually gets it on in, and then he's going to loon from the left side to the right. And the lava hounds, I really like this. So he still got one in the bag, 2 are there on the left, and 1 just broke. The other one's about dead. He's sending the other one to pick up any kind of mines around those Teslas, around those wizard towers, and he's got those hastes. Those hastes are going to sweep him across the Teslas and across those wizard towers, and be able to finish those up. And then he just has those 2 lounds on the right to finish this up. But the queen stepped up and shot down the air defense before he was ready for it, and he didn't anticipate that. He ends up with 2 hounds in the bag, but he has he's really smart on his cleanup, and he always has a wizard or 2 in the bag. So cleanup's happening, cleanup's done. It's going to be 3 stars. Good job, someone. We're going to see another attack like that where he actually has 2 hounds, still not break, still comes up with success. Here we go, man. Immortal Mouse, 6-star hit. I really like this design. I've always kind of imagined this as a really good kind of a base, but Immortal Mouse says, nah. He's going to take his level 15 and 12 heroes. He's going to beat up on these 25, 27 heroes. He just sends them on in with this rage, and I think that there's no golem there. He just using heroes and a rage spell. Now the queen's really smart here. She decides that she needs to take out this wall, so I wish she has good visibility on the enemy queen, and he's just going to ability her down. And that was it. That's all he needs out of his heroes. And then he's going to bring the Penta Lavaloon direct into the sweepers, because Immortal Mouse, he doesn't give an F. He's going for it. Brings down the curtain of loons. You got rage going down. We still got another rage in the bag. We're going to see it here on the back side. All these mines flying up. Pups everywhere. Pups are raged. Pups are breaking stuff. Loons still getting pushed around like they don't care. But he ends up getting right on top of that last wizard tower with that rage and everything. And those last 3 loons stay up. So actually, I think there's 4 or 5 there in that cluster. But he ends up crushing this base so hard, we're going to end up with a lava hound that's still alive. And this is going to be it, man. Because there's too many pups all over the board. Too many loons still alive. And that archer tower had nothing. So this here's going to be 3 stars. Immortal Mouse bringing the Penta. I think we have a couple of those. I was really eyeballing for a Penta, but I don't know, man. Sometimes if you can get the queen without using much of anything, and it has like a lava hound to CC, definitely pull off that. Teza boy, Here we go. Someone again getting wrecked this base. It has tight clustered air defenses. He's gonna come in here from the northeast, and he's gonna get down this queen. This is number 17 on their map. 30 heroes. You know, the offensive potential they had is like crazy. So we got a 20 and a 19. Gonna be stuck on this lava hound for a minute, but we bring down the rage. That way our wizards and queen can just go ahead and knock it out, and it's gonna get stuck on these golems and stuff and not really cause any kind of like real loss of troops. I think it got one wizard, but someone's been really good at this technique where he uses a golem and he'll get the archer queen shooting a golem, and then the golem, whatever it was hitting, gets destroyed. Well, he paths away from the queen's pad, so the queen's like, oh, now I need to go after you. So now he has a jump in the bag. He's just gonna jump into the middle compartment. I think he meant it for like a little bit off to the left, but I've seen him do this before where like the queen will just chase off after the golem, and she runs right next to the barbarian king. He's like, oh hell no, and he just starts smacking her down. So here we go, man. We're on the Lavaloon phase. We're gonna throw down these hastes to counteract that sweeper, and we're just gonna get our loons and our hounds just moving on in. It puts down that last hound really early, and it goes right to that air defense. That way he can get it just kind of cooking, get some damage on it. Get it popped here in short order, and all these loons, man, are just gonna roll this base. There's nothing really left that can really mess him up. He's still got 2 hounds in the bag. I'm gonna go ahead and give it the double speed. They're all low health. I think he meant for them to break, but he takes them down to like 5% health, and that's gonna be it. Still had, like I said, he's really good about that cleanup, man. Still got wizards on the outside doing their job. Still got this queen alive. Really good job on that. 6-star war for someone. Here's one attack I did on Lucas, and it took me a while to figure out this base, but I ended up going with the double jump. I was thinking about doing like a rage wall breaker on in, but I ended up opting for dropping the wall breakers and just bringing a jump and just cruising in this base, because I think an extra witch helped me out a lot here. Just having the extra like mob of skeletons, I just get a nice funnel here going. I just think the extra mob of skeletons really helped me out. Going right from the 3 wizard towers and a mortar, kind of hard to do with witches, but I had the 2 golems up front to handle a lot of this, and it just wasn't that much of a deal, because with the golems pretty much soaking up the beams from the wizard towers, and the archer queen gonna go ahead and nail them down, I really wasn't that worried about it. And all the problems in this base were going to be solved if I can just put skeletons in these in the center of this base. And that's what I'm going to do, man. I put the Barb King in there. He passes 1 DGB possibility. Nothing pops. Okay, cool. You know what they're going to do? They're going to cut that sucker down, and then they're going to move south. Now I'm into the hogging phase here, and I end up losing so many hogs. Just getting like sets of 3 and 3 and 3. So I lose 9 hogs like right away off the top. I meant for like 4 or 5 hogs to be used in the bottom side here where the queen's at. But since I lost 9 hogs right away on the top, I needed that momentum to carry them through with the heal spells and all. So I ended up just throwing them all along the top, and they end up pathing around. And then I just put 2 wizards on top for the cleanup part, so I could stay ahead of that. The time, try to beat the clock. I usually don't have too much of a problem with the clock on these go wee wee kind of attacks, but there you go, man. We're at the bottom side of the base. Last heal spell to tank these point defense, and it just so happens to be the bomb spot, so nobody's gonna put a DGB there, but a bomb, yeah, 1 bomb probably. So I end up completely wrecking the base. The witches in the middle pretty much get whatever needs to be had, and that's going to be it, man. See little single bombs killing skeletons right and left. 3 stars. Next we have Soul Deceiver going in on 19. I really like this attack because he does something kind of unique here. He's going to kind of eliminate part of the boundary using wall breakers. And we're going to have some hot queen on queen action as she steps on up, and she's going to gun down the other queen with the kill shot, turn her crossbow sideways. I guess I'd call her bow and arrow. He's going to pretty much Penta Lavaloon this freaking base. It's going to be hilarious. They're really hard to do, if you do them like with a certain technique. Now, Immortal Mouse, he just pretty much put down a curtain of loons. But this one here has a lot of technique behind it. As you see, all these defenses overlap, and it just is pretty much death and destruction for anything in the middle. But with the rage, you only need a couple loons in order to make things happen on those air defenses. And as you see here, he never just threw down his hounds so that they would take maximum damage. He lets some of his loons take a couple hits, and then he puts in the hound. This allows the hound to have like maximum staying capacity, because if those Teslas were there just ripping on the hound for like the whole time waiting for the loons to arrive, it would have just been nuked, and this attack would have turned out differently. So it's just a really patient hound deployment and a really methodical loon deployment, going from that clockwise direction, really able to get all the base like objectives met. With all those overlapping defenses and all those air mines in there, it's pretty hard to do, man. But he managed to pull it off using just minimal heroes to get the objectives he needed done, and he pulls it off with that technique. That was amazing. I really like that attack. 4 rage and 1 haste. That way you can just power down. Oh man, then he almost had a 6-star war, another 93% there. Alright, here we go, man. We got Alfred. I'm going in on this base. It took me a while to figure this base out, but I knew if I put my queen at a certain point right here, I'd pick up the mortar so I can put 2 wizards in on the top side to do those cuts. And I meant to use the ability here on his hero, and I do, and it gets his hero down. So she's supposed to go to the south, and I know if I don't get this stuff down, she'll end up going north. So she starts pulling to the north. I'm like, oh shit. So I put down an extra wizard, and I didn't even want it, but I had spares. But they actually get that mortar out of the way, which is one less thing my hogs need to go to. I'm just going to let her kind of just creep on south. I think I have 4 wizards here. Yeah, because I tried to do queen walk concept on the last base that I hit, but I ended up just taking that unit space and making them into witches, and that worked out really well. So it's pretty much the same attack, except for a walk I did with witches. Anyway, so I got minions help me out with the cuts. I got a wizard. I actually put on my Barb King to help me with cuts. Some people don't like doing that, but he does respectable damage. And I know if he's like on one point, he ends up moving, kind of like the same concept as a walk. I ended up putting a jump here, and I brought a rage. And come to think about it, I never really needed a rage, but I wasn't sure what was going to be in the CC. This was the first hit, and I built the rage because I was going to rage against his queen with like rage healers, just to like sustain and do that damage and rush her on through. But I was like, whatever, man. A Lava Hound comes out, which ties us up for quite a bit. But my healers are helping out my Barb King, so he doesn't die. And those 4 hogs that came in from the left, well, they were just there to break the double giant bomb possibility and blow themselves up, suicide hog style. And I'm just sprinkling them on in, man. I didn't really plan like the drops to like the T. I didn't know what was going to happen with the bombs. See, look, I'm randomly encountering bombs to this base. I thought there was another double giant bomb right there, so those hogs would have died, and I ended up having that last heal. And it just so happens to be a bomb over there, so that's awesome, man. Finishing it right on top of skeleton traps in a heal. And I had those 3 wizards in the bag, and they're going to clean from the top left to right. So this base is done. Ended up coming out a lot better than what I thought it was going to be. I hate going into an attack. I'm like, I don't know if this is going to work. But this one worked. Had to kind of improv a little bit with the wizards. Alright, so here we go. Knife Ninja SD here, attacking Plasma. They're 23. We not a max base, but Knife, he knows how to break it down. I really like this hogging technique here. He's gonna move on in with the stoned approach. I mean, no, hold on, that's not stone. This is a shattered. What? It's a 2 golem. Why can't people just call it 2 golems? It's 2 golems, man. It's 2 golems. It's rolling 2 golems. It actually is 3 golems. I'm going crazy here. It's late. It's late. Cut me some slack. Pecker rolls out of the CC, which is very bad for golems, especially if you don't have a rage. So he just starts whooping on these golems. But he brought 3 golems, and he's going to double jump on in. So he's going to be able to transition this entire base, keeping everything locked on these golems, even the queen locks on the golems. So now his low-level Barb King's going to be able to step up, just smack them all down. I'm not trying to insult his troop levels. It's just we were at a hero disadvantage here at every way. Just sprinkling his barbs in. I mean, not barbs, but the hogs. Hogs are all on the board, and they're going to crush it from left. They're going to crush it from the right, and they all meet up here on the back side where he has 2 heals. One for the right side, one for the left side. He lost a few hogs like on the way on in, but it was okay. And he managed to recover from that. There was no big like bomb threat possibilities on the backside. There was a little bit on the left, and that's why he had maybe like some sacrificial hogs. But he ends up with enough. Well, his hogs go down. He ends up with enough on the board. You know, wizard left, wizard right, and those the pack of golems and his queen still being up. He's gonna be able to get this down. Now his Barb King steps up and actually whips down his queen, but with no more defenses, the golems alone can just punch down the king, and that wizard helps out, gets it done for the 3 stars. Good job, man. Knife, 6-star war, man. Here we go. We got another one for you. This one here is going to bring in a little bit different style. Instead of transitioning the entire base, he's going to rage a set of dragons. Got level 4 dragons. He's going to rage them on in and going to get down that queen. And then he's going to counter the base from the right side, not with the stoned approach. 2 golems this time. 2. Just 2. He's going to bring them in. He's going to eliminate the bomb threat possibilities by just kind of putting down. We got a poison here as the troops come on out. Even if it was a dragon, he'll be parked in the poison. So we got a nice placement on that. And our dragons have actually cut a lot of the defenses out from the left side and a little bit of our cleanup. So suicide dragons are always just a good idea for the right kind of base. And this was definitely the right kind of base, the right kind of attack for it. So our golems are running across those double giant bombs, and we're already in the hogging phase. And these hogs are just rolling on in. They're cutting things down. Not a whole lot of threats down here. He's got 2 heals in the bag. If he loses a hog, if he loses 2, you know, it happens. But that actually single bomb there actually caused a lot of damage. I think he lost like 3 or 4 hogs right from there, just because they were already kind of damaged. But his queen's getting a lot of value, and she's going to actually stay alive here for the cleanup phase, so that's good. The hogs are rolling through. There was a double giant bomb possibility there. Could have ended his raid, but it's just too close to the queen, man. Most people don't do that. So you end up with like a DGB and like a couple singles. And I think there's a single on this side. Yep, there it is. So there you go, man. The typical layout. DGB opposite of queen with a couple singles to the left and a couple singles to the right side. And, you know, well, in this case, north and south. And he's going to roll his base, man. Still hogs on the board. So he had the right kind of mindset rolling in his base. I think this was a first attack. One of these 2 was that he just did. So good job on that. Good breakdown. Here we go. We got David. Really like this attack. This attack gets pretty crazy. So he's going to roll on into this base here from the south side. 2 golems. Do we have a third? Nope, just 2. And just brings a couple breakers in, had them perfectly spaced, so both golems were able to bring back in for this funnel. Wizards are going to be able to, actually that wizard got hit by the expo. It happens. But the mortar still being alive actually is okay. It picks up most of the CC, and they kind of move off to the right and then on in, so it puts them up real nice for that core. So the Archqueen gets down the rest of the CC. We got a quad Tesla here. But Barbarian Kings are actually pretty awesome against quad Teslas here. Just watch this. So he rages them on up. And BK Rage, Iron Fist. And he's able to cut down all these Teslas. Because all those little Barbarians are little target zones for the... actually, kind of all of them, but pretty much most of them. With a heal, man, freaking springs. With a heal, he's able to get down the rest of the Teslas. And he's able to roll his base on in. So I really like that attack. Really good one there. Moving on in. It's kind of low level defenses. Even for Tunnel 9. Like maybe he's trying to do like a mini, he's trying to do like 8.2 versus like 8.5. kind of low level there, but everything else about that base pretty respectable. Good base breakdown here, and I think this one here gets pretty interesting as well. Tolkien. So Tolkien goes on in. He brings the lure and just brings him on down south. We've got a Pekka out there. Pekka's particularly nasty against these golems, and he's got a stoned approach. So the two golems from the left side, they're actually able to take that jump on in, but our golem on the right is just like, whatever, I'm good with this wall. But when he breaks, for some reason, when they break, they decide to like retarget or choose initial targets, and that causes their AI to like funnel on in. So he's actually able to get all of his golems on in. So thanks, Pekka. This one here does go to hell, because what happened here is his queen was just like, there's not enough buildings up here, I'm gonna go take a walk. So she takes a stroll along the side, completely unintentional, and we still got to go pick up the archer queen on the opposite side of the base, man. She's on the north side. So he's getting a lot of value out of these hogs. You put in a set of hogs, and they're rolling across the base on the outer side while they were shooting in on the golems. Now our golems, because we chose the stoned approach here, is actually going to really help out, because he puts down a heal spell as his hogs are going from the south to the north, and the queen's locked on this big beefy golem, and he puts down his heal to give that golem that sustain and top all of his hogs off as they transition here. And really there's not a whole lot left on the top side of his base, but we do have some nasties chasing them, those skeletons and stuff. Pretty bad news. So the queen's still alive, and now that the defenses are down, now the BK finally gets to the wall. But even if he didn't, the golems, just because they can explode and they can punch her down and she doesn't have a lot of health, they would have been able to take her out. So really smart impromptu planning there. Sometimes everything go to hell and your queen just runs off on you, and he just had to figure it out on the fly. Really smart play there. Good job, Jay. And then we go to Obrien, man, moving up. Got number 28 here. We got a couple low-level defenses on the map, but still a respectable base. We're going to hit it with, I think this is CB Lavaloon. Just breaks on in. Got to cut down these high health storages here. Obviously, somebody's trying to tie them on up as they have to get the queen. But a CB Lavaloon, some of these air defenses overlap. And with a dragon in the CC, like, you can't mess around. You have to get that dragon down. But unfortunately for us, we're stuck on just banging away on storages. So much high health defenses here. I don't think walls mean as much as putting high health storages on the map, just my opinion. Still got that dragon, so this attack doesn't work until it's down. Our queen, of course, being the queen that she is, doesn't step up and shoot the dragon, but she does step up and finish off that air defense, and then finally she's like, oh, I'll actually finally shoot that dragon for you. So now he's able to start the Lavaloon portion. Only 3 defenses left on the map. Got 4 hounds in the bag. You know what's going to happen here, man. Without max defenses, he's just going to roll in counterclockwise, real systematic approach. Bringing it on in. Got loons for the backside. Sorry for the 4x. I'm actually trying to keep this video within like an hour. But that's it, man. It's going to be 3 stars. Then we have Banana. And Banana, well, she likes the HGH, G-He-Ho, Healer Giant Hogs, whatever you want to call it. Rolling in there, standard approach. We're going to bring the 14 Giants, 3 Healers. And she's just going to roll into the front of this base. And we have the Rage when the CC comes on out. We have actually a pretty nasty CC. We got some AoE damage there. Got the Wizards, and she's going to be able to rage them, keep them on moving. And the Poison's able to take that, and they're able to get them down. With our Rage Wizards on the backside, they're going to help us out with keeping our units alive. See, though, those Loon drops actually put all of her Giants in the red. If there was like a 3rd or 4th Loon, all of the Giants would be totally dead. Real sensitive on the CC pull with the HGHs, but if you get it done right, like the Queen's down, the Giant's still alive, and the CC's done. So at this point, the base is looking pretty good for HGH. If you can get to at least this point, you'll be okay. She tests the left side here for DGB, and she's about to throw down the hogs. They're coming in here from the right, kind of a surgical entry. I'm going to actually give it a double. Hitting springs all over the place. Slows down the rest of the hogs because of the spring loss. And we got 3 heals to run this base. The Giants are able to, they're going to move up and just kind of tank defenses. But we hit the DGB on the backside. But with the HDH, it's just such a forgiving attack because it's like almost like a queen walk, a healer giant push, and Hagen at all at the same time. And if one of them fails, like the other one probably works. And you end up with stuff like this where it just gets it done, man. I mean, even with springs hitting everything, as long as those healers are there and there's no answer for them, the units keep advancing. They keep doing damage to the base. Here we go, man. Memory. Usually Hagen. Memory is just like, I like to hog, man. He just hogs everything. Bringing the loons this time. So, I don't remember if we have a Shattered Approach. I don't think we have a Shattered Approach. I think this is a, he brings his own golems, 2 golems, and he's going to roll right into this base. He brings off the easy lure here, gets him cooking, and give you the 4x. Comes in here from the south side. There we go. 2 golems on in, bringing the jump, connects all those compartments, and he's going to be able to advance on up. And because of the way how these compartments are shaped, and we have a kind of like a dead zone to the right of that air defense, our units are actually going to step up. They're going to break both air defenses, and then 3 lava hounds for 2 air defenses gets the job done, man. Got to kind of nail down the BK, but our units step up. Wizards get it done. There you go, man. 3 hounds go in, puts down a curtain of loons. Tap, 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 tap. Double taps. That's it. And they just roll right in. I think that centralized wizard tower is supposed to destroy like loon clusters, but it did nothing here. We're going to have space dead in 30 seconds. Even got the goblins here for the cleanup. Woo! 2 hounds not even popped. Crazy. Here's Methadone, bringing it down. I think he had actually a late attack. I think he had something going on that day. And then we're like, Methadone, where are you? And he's like, alright, man, what do you need me on? He's like, we need you on 31. And then he just goes on in and brings the answer, man. I think we had like an hour to plan this at best. Meanwhile, the rest of us were staring at this stuff for like days. Well, not days, but like all day long. It's getting late, guys. It's getting late. There you go, man. Bringing the poison, ends the CC troops. Bringing the double golem here. We're going to hog the hell out of this base. But we got to go from the right side to the left side. Or, well, down south at least. At least picking up the queen, man. But he starts hogging it before he gets the queen down. Actually, I don't think he gets the queen down. Yeah, that's right. He doesn't even get the queen down. He just throws hogs at his base without getting the queen down. I'm like, what are you doing? But level 4 Archer Queen is just, I guess, not that lethal, man. Level 5 hogs. Especially when the raid ends there. Look at this. There's too many hogs on the board. They just step up and give it the high five. And this base is done. I can't believe he did that attack. I didn't scan this replay before I started recording. Crazy, man. 3 stars. Crazy. Crazy. Here's Gareth. This guy, Town Hall 10, weighted as Town Hall 8. Jaquin Hagar put 92% on him. We didn't have enough attacks on the low end, so that was actually kind of a late attack. I think it was the only attack we threw at that base. What a shame. Dark Knight. I'm going to feature this one here. I think these Town Hall 8 attacks are pretty well thought out. Bringing the Dragloon, Lightning Quake. He's going to go ahead and end it. It really doesn't matter if you want to Quake or Lightning first, as long as it just goes in there, because the way how they change the mechanics on the Quake spell is the first drop does whatever percentile it says. So if it says I do 25% to a building, it doesn't matter if you do. It says remaining hit points. I don't know who does like typing for like words for Supercell, but they're like a bunch of idiots. Alright, so it does like 25% or 14%, depending on whatever level you have on the drop. It doesn't matter if it happens before the lightnings or after lightnings, it's gonna do the damage. So just get it done, man. I prefer dropping Quake first, just my preference. But anyway, he gets the CC on now. We got the 1 rage here. gets down the air defenses, gets down the CC, and the rage dragons move up and just annihilate anything left on this base. The loons are going to path along here in a nice fashion here, able to get down the archer towers. There's really not a lot of like storages here on this particular side of the base. It's kind of was an anti-hog design. So just really good job on decoding the defenses here. He's going to bring Dragoon instead with that lightning quake. I mean, obviously if that air defense was still alive doing damage, this attack wouldn't even work. But with the lightning quake combo, it's going to get it done for 3 stars. And then we have Bow. Bow brings it on this base. I think this one was kind of like an anti-dragon design. Brings out a healer from the CC, which is really weird because that stuff's hard to poison. So she's just going to go ahead and lure him on out. I think she saves poison for hogs, if I'm not mistaken. So she's going to do the bow attack, which is like kind of like a wee-wee. You end up with like this clan castle kind of like wee-wee approach. There's no golems or anything, but you're bringing them on out. I think she was expecting a dragon, but you end up with this weird ass crap. Healers in the CC, man, it can cause a lot of problems. Puts the witches on top of that Valk. I didn't like that aspect, but otherwise this attack is going to be for 3. Now that you don't have any witches though, I didn't like that, but the BK steps up to tank for wizards, so that's going to happen. And she puts down her circular Hagen approach. Just keeps bringing them on in, This enables them to not only engage the point defenses that are on the exterior first, but she kind of circumnavigates some bomb spots by doing this. And then as the bomb spots pop up, throw down a heal. You see another one, you throw down a heal. So your hog, you lose like half your hogs every time you do this, but it's not a bad strategy, especially for these kind of bases where she knew that if you came from this side, the double giant bomb spot, it just wasn't going to happen, man. So the hogs are all rolling through the heels at this point in the base, and they're going to path around there. I don't think they tripped that last bomb. Yeah, I think there's a bomb in that gap there, but the pathing doesn't really work, especially if you come from that side of the base. Yeah, doesn't even get tripped. And they just roll the rest of the base. It's going to be 3 stars. Long video, guys. I got one more for you here, because the bases were effective all the way down to 35. Monarch fighting this kind of base. Look at this. You can't even hog this base straight up, because if you path into the middle, you're going to get wrecked. So the air sweeper points off into protecting those elixir collectors, and it allows this this dragon approach right here, and he's just going to throw lots of dragons at it. Gets a funnel developed, dragons go on in, drop some CC loons just to make sure the air defenses actually go down. They do. You got the rage for it. Dragons just rolling the space. That's why you don't point your sweepers like that. But there you go, man. King on king action. His king wins. GG huts on the side. Well, it's going to be a GG for 3. So we lost the war, but I really feel like we won more than a few battles. And they put up a really good fight. It was good sportsmanship on both sides. I think we had a thing on the start where they're like, hey, you know, don't say that. But we talked to them toward the end, and everybody had a pretty good war. Emphatic Fury, much respect. Lots of respect for Clash with Maddie. Really good war. I didn't expect us to pull one of these, and everybody on our side, I don't know if they're watching it, but everybody on our side was really looking forward to an arranged war, and this was our first big test for it, and we got a red line, but we're able to look back on it. As you see here, we have 5 attacks not used. 2 of those are going to be from our nobody. Like, we had one person that couldn't get our 2 attacks in, and then we had another person who accidentally got opted in, or he didn't opt out, but he wasn't available. He had like a primary and alternate account, and he forgot to opt out as an alternate account. And then, of course, Frank White's at the bottom. He's just our little anchor. Town Hall 3, he doesn't attack. So we didn't even have our full 70 attacks. kind of disappointed on that. War weights, I don't know how we matched, man. The matchmaking just was not working for us, but I would love to fight these guys. You know, give us another couple more months, go back at it again, and just test our bases out again. Everybody had a really good time. But here we go, man. We're 45 minutes in. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna upload. Have a good night. All right, guys. Stay in. Take care.